night and welcome again to Friday Night Live. I am your host, Aruvin Padia, and this is another episode of Men of Purpose Talks. Tonight is the 13th day of November 2020, and the world is full of action. I am coming to you live from Trinidad and Tobago, and we're going to have some fun today. Tonight's topic is the fear of pandemic. As we do every Friday, we have our devotional, and tonight's devotional is called Chain Reactions. One man's obedience brings life to many. We simply do not know how far-reaching one act of obedience to God will be and what consequences our choices will have for others. This reason alone would be enough to seek God's will in all matters. When the moment of our greatest challenges arrives, we want to be in the habit of saying yes to God rather than debating or compromising. Being ready means we aren't considering our own rewards or consequences, but the impact of our choices upon others. This is a kind of unselfishness that Christ Jesus displayed to us. While there may be some wrestling with issues, we want to have a strong spiritual resolve to see God's will be done. Spiritual obedience and spiritual disobedience set in motion consequences that we cannot undo. All decisions that affect our relationship with God and others involve defying one voice and obeying another. Just as the result of one trespass was condemnation for all men, so also the result of one act of righteousness was justification that brings life for all men. For just as through the disobedience of the one man, the many were made sinners, so also through the obedience of one man, the many will be made righteous. Romans chapter 5 verses 18 to 19. What change reactions is our obedience or disobedience creating in eternity? It's a sobering thought if you're like me and have a colorful past. When we realize the progression of disobedience, and the disobedience I'm speaking about is the disobedience of Adam, we can start to understand the passion of Jesus on this whole issue of doing life God's way. It makes more sense to believe that Jesus was big on obedience with his men, not because he wanted strict legalistic adherences to the guidelines, but because he was aiming to correct the chain reactions. Father, tonight we thank you for reminding us of the seriousness of our choices, and help us, O God, from tonight make wise decisions. Help us be wise and help us to understand, God, what you do and what you say for our life. Tonight, We're gonna have our song for tonight, and our song for tonight is from Kanye West. I listened to this song and I really enjoyed it. It's called Follow God, and this is a live version, Follow God Sunday service, and hope you enjoy it.
Right, this is like a movie, but it's really very lifelike. Every single night, right? Every single fight, right? I was looking at the gram and I don't even like life. I was screaming at my dad, told me it ain't Christ-like. I was screaming at the referee, just like Mike, looking for a bright light. See what your life like, riding on a white bike, feeling like a sight bike, pressing on the gas, supernova for a night light. Screaming at my dad and he told me it ain't Christ-like. But nobody never take you when you're being Christ-like. Only ever seeing me, only when they needing me. Like if Tyler Perry made a movie for BET, searching for a deity. Now you wanna see it free, now you wanna see it free. Now you see it through your face. Tell me what your life like, turning down a bright light. Riding with my dad, and he told me it ain't Christ-like. I'm just really trying to find a new way. I'm just really trying to really be a fool way. I don't have a cool way, being on my best though. Like I'm on a text though, nothing else next though. Matter whether word, not a preacher or a decimal. Wrestling with God, I don't really wanna wrestle. That is what life like, everything in my life. Arguing with my dad and he told me it ain't Christ-like. Man. I woke up, I said my prayers and everything, and I was feeling all good. I tried to get my dad some advice. He started spazzing on me. I started spazzing back. He said that ain't Christ-like. I said, come on, say that with us. Father, I stretch my hands. Stretch my hands to you. Come on, LA, you know you need God. Come on, slip your hands to him. Father, I stretch. We're in need of his touch on today. Stretch my hands. Stretch my hands to you. I need some joy for the week. I need some peace for the week. Father, I stretch. Oh God, I've come to the end of the road, but I need you. Stretch my hands to you. Father, I stretch. Stretch my hands. Stretch my hands to you. I'm in need of a touch. I'm in need of a blessing. Father, I stretch. Your hands unto the Father. Stretch my hands to you. I need you, Lord. Father, I stretch. You're my help today, Father. Stretch my hands to you. You've been my peace. You've been my joy. I stretch my hands. Father, I need your love on today, God. Hallelujah. Stretch my hands to you. Father, I stretch. Stretch my hands to you. Come on, LA, just lift them up. Father, I stretch. I stretch my hands. I stretch my life. Stretch my hands to you. I look to the hills from whence cometh my help. Father, I stretch. Knowing that all of my help, it comes from God. Hallelujah. Stretch my hands to you. Come on, look to your maker, LA. Look to your creator. Tell him I need you. Father, I stretch. You said that if we call you, that you would answer us. Stretch my hands to you. And you would show us great and mighty things which are to come. Hallelujah. Father, I stretch. Last time, everybody, stretch my hand. Stretch my hands to you. Say it again. Father, come on. Father, I stretch. Stretch my hands. Stretch my hands to you. life like? Tell me what your life like. What is it in life like? Living in a movie where it's like type right. This is like a movie, but it's really very lifelike. Every single night, right? Every single fight, right? I was looking at the ground and I don't even like life. I was screaming at my daddy, told me it ain't Christ-like. I was screaming at the referee, just like Mike, looking for a bright light. Single with your life like riding on a white bike, feeling like a sight bike, pressing on the gas, supernova for a light light. Screaming at my daddy, told me it ain't Christ-like. But nobody never tell you when you're being like right. Only ever seeing me, only when they needing me. Like if Tyler Perry made a movie for BT, searching for a deity. Now you wanna see it free, now you wanna see it free, and you see it through your piece, steady with your right light. Turning down a bright light, I've been with my daddy, he told me it ain't Christ-like. I'm just really trying, I've been looking for a new way. I'm just really trying not to really do the blue way. I don't have a blue way, being on my best though, like I'm on a text though. Nothing else next though, not another word, not a picture or a decimal. Wrestling with God, I don't really wanna wrestle. Man, it's really life like everything I'm not like. I'm with my dad and he told me it ain't Christ-like. Stretch my hands to you. Say it again, Father. Father, I stretch my hands to you. Come on, let me hear you sing it, LA. Come on. Father, come on, that's it. Come on, stretch my hands. Come on, he wants to hear you sing it today. Come on, sing it, LA. That's it, that's it. He said, make a joyful noise. Come on, lift them up to him. Everybody sing it all in the room. Father. Father, I stretch my hands. Stretch my hands to you. Our hand in his hands is a wonderful thing. Father, I stretch. He'll pick us up. He'll hold us up. Stretch my hands to you. Come on, one last time, everybody say it. Father, Father, I stretch my hands. Stretch my hands to you.
Welcome back. This is Friday Night Live. I'm your host, Ruben Padilla, Manipulative Talks. And tonight we are discussing the topic, the fear of pandemic, or the pandemic of fear. And it's a real thing that's happening out there. It's a real situation that's going on. And I really want to dive into it. And I know that you're going to enjoy it. As customary, I like to play some inspirational quotes for you today. So the first one is Call Your Value. I hope you enjoy it.
This is a dollar bill. Now, if I go to the store and there's something for 90 cents, can I buy it with this dollar bill? Okay, all right. So if I go to the store and there's something for 85 cents and after tax it ends up being 96 cents, can I buy it with this dollar bill? Okay, all right. So what if I ball the dollar bill up? Think about it now. Like I just balled the dollar bill up, like so it can't be worth $1 now. It's probably worth like 95 cents, right? How much do you think it's worth? $1. Listen, y'all gotta pay attention. I just balled it up, so clearly it's not worth $1 anymore. All right. So maybe, what if I step on it? What if I stomp it? I just stomped it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 65 cents, 68 cents? It's still worth $1? Okay, what if I ball it up? What if I stomp on it and then I put it in the trash can and it's in here with some trash and it's around some beer and some gum and a bunch of other nasty stuff and some guy off the street pulls the dollar out, unfolds it. How much is it worth now? Maybe 82 cents? And come on, at least 92 cents? It's okay, all right, so what if I ball it up? What if I step on it? What if I put it in trash and then, watch this, I tear it in half? Think about it now, right? How much is it worth now? $1? I could tape it? Whoa. Wait. Wait a second. I just balled it up, I just stepped on it. I put it in trash. I pulled it out. Then I tore it in half. And you mean to tell me I can pick the dollar up, I can wipe it off, and I can put some tape around it, and it's still worth $1? Then why, if this dollar doesn't lose its worth or its value, then why do you feel like you've lost your worth of value? Because many of you feel like you've been stepped on, you feel like you've been pushed aside, you feel like you've been abandoned, you feel like you've been talked about, you feel like you've been abused, like someone took from you, someone hurt you, somebody took advantage of you, and deep down inside your core, you feel like you've lost some of your value. And I am here to tell you today that this dollar still has worth and value, because there are some men years ago who put value over this life and said that no matter what happens to it, it can still be taped back together, it can still be wiped off. And I am here to tell you that you were created and you're born and you're here and you have life and you have purpose and you have value. And though you've gone through some hard times and though you've experienced some depression and you might be wanting to hurt yourself and you might want to give up, I am here to tell you you still got worth and value. And there is nothing that can happen that can take your worth and your value away. So what you gotta do now is you gotta pick yourself up. You gotta dust yourself off and you gotta keep moving.
That motivational speech was by Ben Lionel Scott. Know your value. It's so important. We'll be right back after this message.
Many patients affected by COVID-19 will need hospitalization and even care within intensive care units. Often they have weakened hearts and lungs, lost muscle, as well as effects on their mental health and cognition. For many, they'll continue recovery at Sunnybrook's St. John's Rehab.
COVID affects the body in multiple ways, so you just don't have the stamina that you had before.
Dr. Robinson says at St. John's Rehab, patients receive care from a diverse team of experts. But even for those recovering from COVID-19 at home, there are important things they should be doing. Because muscle strength and endurance can drop off quickly after prolonged bed rest, Dr. Robinson says movement is key.
Walk around the home more, start to go upstairs, do more functional activities. Even just doing exercises in bed can be helpful.
In fact, new research co-authored by Dr. Robinson finds starting rehab efforts early, even in the intensive care unit, can have a big impact on recovery. Occupational therapist Elaine Chan agrees that getting moving is a centerpiece of care. She and the team at St. John's Rehab develop a unique care plan for each patient, depending on how COVID-19 has affected their ability to do daily tasks.
It's individual. For a lot of the patients that I saw in the beginning, a lot of them were lacking endurance. And then building strength, definitely.
She says endurance building exercises like walking have been helpful with a gradual build-up over time. Other activities include chair push-ups, leg lifts, foot and calf raises, and squeezing a stress ball. Simple finger touches rebuild coordination. Chan says don't forget that aids like a leg lifter or shoehorn can help with daily activities like getting out of bed and putting on footwear when feeling weak. As well, tracking limitations will help direct efforts.
Even getting out of a chair is a problem. Then there's certain exercises we can work on, such as squats or, pushing off the chair and things like that to help strengthen the arms and strengthen the legs.
Dr. Robinson says being consistent with efforts to rebuild strength and endurance is critical. While patients recovering from COVID-19 are typically at St. John's Rehab for 2 to 3 weeks, it could take them and others months before getting back to feeling closer to themselves again. For anyone recovering at home and needing expert care, Chan says to reach out to your family doctor to discuss a referral. Programs like St. John's Rehab are increasing their virtual outreach, meaning many more patients can now receive care from the safety and comforts of home. With Sunnyview, I'm Monica Mattis.
Good night again. Welcome back to Friday Night Live. We have one more motivational speech again. This is for all of you fighting battles alone. I hope you enjoy this.
Success can be a lonely road. It can be a tough road. It can be a hard road. It's not for everyone. Those who follow others like sheep will never know who they truly are. Only those who follow their own path can discover their true potential. Those who fly alone have the strongest wings. Those who walk alone have the strongest direction. The rest will always be in need of others for their survival. They will always need attention, need recognition to survive. I am at peace alone, needing no attention, no recognition, and still I thrive. I'm not saying those who have support are weak. I'm not saying you must go at it alone to gain strength. This is just for those who have fought battles alone. Those who have felt like they don't fit in. Those who have never had support in anything they do. All of those who feel no one believes in them. You don't need them to believe in you if you believe in you. You don't need their support if you've got your own back. The best part is when you truly live the life you want to live. When you speak your truth. When you embrace who you are. Then you gain real respect and real love. People love those who have the guts to be themselves. Those who have the courage to follow their heart. Why? It's rare. Why? Because most people wish they could do the same. Show them the way. Keep going. Believe in yourself. It will all come good in the end. And when it does, you won't have only inspired yourself to be more. You will have inspired so many others. I had to learn to fight alone. And because of that, I am strong alone. I am strong. Full stop. I developed inner strength that can't be broken. I am unbreakable. Because of the pain, I am strong. Because of the struggle, I have character most will never know. I appreciate others more than ever. I have more compassion than ever. I had to go deep into the darkness. Now I have more depth. Now I can see clearer. I had to face huge internal challenges. Now I can defeat any challenge. I will destroy every challenge. I am proud of who I have become. I am proud I have overcome. I am proud I kept going. I am proud of who I am, who I've become. I am proud I stayed true to myself because now I can live as myself with respect from others and most importantly, pride and respect from myself.
Those who fly alone have the strongest wings. No one can divine who you will be. You decide to be by your action. Your mind, the thoughts will define you. This is for all those fighting battles alone. I hope you enjoyed it. Coming right back with tonight's main topic. The pandemic of fear. The biggest debate on social media and what I would like to call all media since March has been over the appropriate level of concern for a significant long-term disruption of our daily activities because of the COVID-19 pandemic. A pandemic is defined by the dictionary as an, I quote, epidemic occurring worldwide or over a very wide area, crossing international boundaries and usually affecting a large number of people. The classical definition includes nothing about population immunity, virology, or disease severity. By this definition, pandemics can be said to occur annually in each of the temperate, southern or northern hemispheres, given that seasonal epidemics cross international boundaries and affect a large number of people. However, seasonal epidemics are not considered pandemics. Manipulative forces have co-opted alarm about coronavirus and stolen the nation's peace of mind. The world has lost its mind because of the coronavirus and the fear of what would happen. And who or what are these forces? They are government, news media, and our own psyche. The virus is dangerous. The virus provokes fear out of proportion to the risk. This fear is its own corrosive disease and causes us to jump to quick answers, often over-politicized by a media hoping for ratings and politicians anxious to control us. This fear leads to dogma, distrust, premature judgment, hypocrisy, and pseudoscience. So, how can we, as people, have faith to navigate a world filled of fear, violence, hatred, and threats? How should we live when our sense of safety has been stolen from us? I have always been intrigued by a phrase found about 100 times in the Bible. Do not be afraid. Most often, that admonition comes from the Lord or one of his messengers. The fact that God repeats that phrase so often reminds us that those who have gone before in every generation have had some sort of fear, some sort of panic, some sort of pandemic. Sometimes those fears result in uncertain circumstances in individual lives. Sometimes they come from the specter of frightening futures. Often they emerge from others seeking to bring harm to others. God's response remains the same. Do not be afraid. I receive a fresh reminder of this truth when I read Joshua 10:8. The Lord said to Joshua, do not be afraid of them. I have given them into your hands. Not one of them will be able to withstand you. The passage of Joshua 10:1-15 recounts the story of God going before Joshua and his men in a fight against not one, not two, not three, but 5 armies of soldiers who planned to attack them on a Hebrew. God worked several miracles to guarantee victory. The most obvious miracle occurred as God stopped the earth's rotation for a day. Let's read it. Sophisticated computers in the field of astronomy report an anomaly in the heaven around that time period that lasted for 23 hours and 20 minutes. I think Joshua 10:13 appropriately accounts for that anomaly. God also gave Hebrew soldiers incredible strength to travel all night and then fight for nearly 48 hours. Further, God brought psychological confusion and disorientation to their enemies, providing a tactical advantage in Judges chapter 10 verses 10. This story of victory from God illustrates just one example of how he helped his people choose faith over fear. I think the Lord has the same word for us to use when he comforted his people throughout the biblical history. He reaches out to us with the same message, proclaimed down through the ages. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. It has been echoing from Joshua until now. Do not be afraid. But still, so many times we lose hope in what happens, and we tend to look at what is going on, our circumstances. The Old Testament accounts of God's people, and he finds them in a treacherous peril. They were dominated or exiled throughout much of their history. Often the context of God's appeal to them not to be afraid came in their most vulnerable circumstances. Every time God reminded them that he was walking every step with them and would provide for them in their deepest need. I take heart in the fact that we live in a world filled with shadows of dangers and threats. But we serve a God who walks with us and whispers those comforting words our ears long to hear. Do not be afraid. Though you walk through the valley of the shadow of death, God is promising to you today that he's never going to leave you. He's never going to forsake you. He will be with you till the very end. Today, choose faith over fear. Even though the pandemic seems to be unending, everything as we know it has changed. Do not be afraid. Do not let fear overwhelm your heart. Choose today to trust God. Choose today to have hope in God. I hope you received this powerful word, the pandemic of fear, tonight, and you wouldn't let fear overwhelm you. I just want to encourage you to subscribe to our podcast. As you may have known, we have a podcast. The name of the podcast is Let's Talk Purpose. It's available on our website, www.menofpurposeTT.com. If you need more information concerning the podcast, leave a message right here. Or you could even email us at menofpurpose85@gmail.com. That's menofpurpose85@gmail.com. And we will send the links of the podcast to you. It will be a very, very great pleasure for you to listen to them and share them. And if you would like to be a part of our podcast, where I normally would interview a special guest, feel free to also email me. Again, the email address is menofpurpose85@gmail.com. This has been another edition of our Friday Night Live. This has been a new form of conversation that we have started, and we are hoping that it will continue to grow. Thank you for taking the time out to listen to us, and I hope that you will have a blessed week, and see you again next Friday. God bless you.